Alright, so here we are. We're doing a trail to Dragon's Tooth. We're right here at Mcaphees Knob, starting. It's supposed to be a 9-ish mile hike. We got Rufus. Rufus is hiking with me, but I got him on a leash. He just wants to run free right now. And we got a sign coming up here. And it's only 4 miles by road, but it's 9 miles by foot to that parking lot. So we'll see what this says. It says Route 785, 4.3, 624 is 5.9, which I think is about where we got. It's a little bit past. That's before. We're going to be passing a lot of cool things that I have heard a lot about, but not ever seen. Lost Spectacles Gap, Beckner's Gap, some other thing. Should have took a picture of the map, but that's what we're doing. We've come into this. We've actually just come from this direction here, but we've crossed along this path, and it's some sort of side trail that goes down that way. But we're gonna keep on this way because you know the double white blaze means AT. And what we've been doing is we've just been hiking along the ridge. So off to the right of us, down in that holler / valley thing, is Route 311. And then we're going right up along this here ridge. Way over there in the distance, you can see the Catawba Hospital. And I'm wondering, it's steeper to go up the middle of that ridge, but they got this real tiny trail cut out right here on the side, covered in leaves. So that's where we're, if you can tell. But that is the home place. Way down yonder, home place. Rufus is running off wherever he wants on that. We're staying on the white blaze. It's actually been it's not a terrible walk, but it is a lot of up and downs. It's a lot of up and downs, but you go up and down these ridges, and you're not always walking on the very tips of the ridge. You're often walking on sides of it. It looks like we're gonna have a switchback here. So maybe cutting back that way. And there's always these things. Right along the ridges, you got these big rock formations. So my guess is we're gonna cut back here, cut all the way back, and then we'll probably be on top of that. We'll probably get a good view, hopefully. Look how big that is. It's pretty big. I don't know if that's gonna turn out very great. It's me compared to that. Pretty big. Nice little, probably some decent bouldering. There's where we just came from with all the boulders on the left. This is from the other direction that we came from, and I saw it was creeping up along the ridge of the mountain. So somebody's made a trail here, and then you see from the white blazes somewhere in there that this is where we gotta go now. So it's like another switchback. I checked the map before we hiked on this, and I remember seeing at least one real big triple switch. So it was switchback, 2 switchbacks. So you can go back the same direction that you were going. And here's another one too. It looks like somebody shortcutted. Oh, here's like a camping trail that somebody's made. So you come up here, they got a fire pit of sorts. 2 fire pits. Some flat area to camp, hammock or whatever. I meant to bring my hammock deck on it. But you can see way over there, that's coming in to Catawba. Home place is down that way. And this is where we're going, towards Dragon's Tooth. A lot of big rock outcrops. I haven't seen anybody yet on the trail. It's been raining for the past 3 weeks, it seems like, on and off. Or at least the time I've been here in Roanoke is about a week, and we've had 2 days of sunnish kind of weather, not rain. It rained last night though. And it's really not that muddy. There's a lot of leaves on the trail, as you can probably tell. But as far as mud goes, since you're right on the top, like I'm literally on the top of this ridge right now, you can see off the sides on both ways, and it's not too muddy. There are some wet leaves, so you gotta be careful, but it's not that bad yet. All right, so we've been hiking for about an hour so far, and we just now started descending from this ridge. So there's where we came from. 311's over there. I don't hear any cars or road anymore. You used to hear that for a while. We've passed over the top of the ridge. It's not too far, so we're right there. And now we're going down. And it's not super steep, but we're going down in this valley. Rufus is I don't know where. He's over there. I just heard my GPS say something. I don't know what it said though, but it was like a mile mark. So we've either hit 2 miles or something like that. It's only been hiking an hour. I've been stopping a lot to look around and explore and trying to get Rufus to listen. Rufus! He's way down there. See that dumb dog? He's out of sight. He don't care. And that's why I've been stopping, because I gotta try to teach him a lesson that he's not gonna learn. He's still not come back. He came back to see me, and then he's gonna do his own thing. Come here, let's go. And there he is. So that's where we're at. Right over that ridge here is the other side where 311's at, and we're on the back end now. And Rufus, how come you don't listen? How come you're running off so far? I don't know, it's just what's fun. Alright. So, we're coming back. Not as high as those guys over there, but we're back on this ridge. You see a lot of neat little farms out this way. That's where we came. Still hiking up here. It's really not, I mean, I just came up a pretty steep section. And it wasn't really, it was steep, but it wasn't like 45 degrees steep. It may have been 35 or something like that. Still a little steep. But then you come right back up to flat. And this is the majority of it. You do have to watch your footing because there's leaves up here as deep as foot snow. And they're covering up a lot of rocks. So you don't want to roll your ankle by just walking because you think it's flat and there's unsuspecting rocks jutting out everywhere. And sun's out, it's nice. It's about 50 something degree weather, maybe 50 up here. I was on this flannel shirt and I had a jacket on. Actually, I never put the jacket on. I've just been wearing this flannel shirt and pants, and it got real hot. So it's good weather for it. I still haven't seen anybody on the trail. I'm been the only person so far. But it's been good. There's some really, I've seen a lot of places that people look like they're camping. A few fire pits, but a lot of just cleared out looking area where people are camping or maybe throwing up a hammock. I did see a footprint that looked fairly fresh. So somebody must have hiked this morning, or maybe there's a through hiker that came through here. But if he was a through hiker, it's funny because he was going the same way I was going. He wasn't going the other way, which would be from the Georgia side back up to the Maine side. So they're going southbound. But anyways, this is kind of what it gets into. It's a bit of an incline, but plenty of rocks to walk on. You got to make sure you pay attention, because on some of the trees, there are a lot of fallen down trees or a lot of old rotten trees, and they've been marked with the white blaze. So I have a feeling some of them have fallen down, and some of them fallen over, or the bark is falling off where they were painted, or it's about to come off. So you gotta watch out for that. And so here's a little bit of a steep part. We're going right up on this rock. So we're right on the very tip of this ridge. Downhill there, downhill there. Let's see if I can get a shot. There's our farmland. I see a buzzard or some sort of bird flying around there somewhere. But not too bad. So we actually just made a turn in the direction. There's the ridge. This is where we came from. We're now going this way. That probably to avoid. There's another mountain over there, and probably to avoid going straight down this one, just straight up that one. We're going this way, and I think it's going to take us into. Well, I think that way. I can't really tell from here, but I think that way is 311. The road comes around there, and I'm thinking it's turning into this little valley here. I don't think it's going this way anymore. I think it's going that way, and then this might be Newport that we were seeing here, which is I think 624 or whatever that other one that we saw was back there. So I think we're like 4 or 5 miles in once we get to that point, which is about halfway, which puts us. There's the double blaze, and we're doing a switchback now. So we're going right back this way down this side of the mountain. There's a board down there. I don't know if you see that. I don't know what that is. We'll keep hiking, and if we don't switch back, then I'll come back over there and take a look at that, because I'm curious what that is. Unless we are going to go down this and go right back up, but I don't see a trail over there. Of course, it's going to be hard if there was one. But it does look like you can walk straight up that side of the mountain and just be steep. So this has been the biggest change in direction on this trail. Yeah, there's a switchback. Okay, I don't know if I just recorded any of that, but there's a thing over there you can walk through. I think we're on somebody else's property. We've done a triple switchback. I forgot this phone. I may end up running out of memory because I don't think I have a memory card in it. But we're heading this way, which is probably, I think that is south. So that would be west. We're heading westward. Let's see where we get to. I'm pretty sure that once we hit down here, there's going to be a road, which would be Newport Road, which is, I think, it's either Route 624 or 819 or 874 or something like that. Once we hit that, we'll be about 5 miles in. Yeah, we're hitting another switchback. So I don't know if you could tell, but this is pretty steep coming off this mountain. We've done quite a few switchbacks here to switch directions. But that's where we're at. Still on there. We're coming down the switchback. We're not quite at the end of the mountain. We're coming down about halfway. And here you can see, I've been looking, and somebody's walked here. This slid. This is about as muddy as it's been. It's pretty slick here. So somebody's beat me here. I haven't been down this way yet. But I don't know. That looks like they might be just a bit ahead of me. I've been walking at a fairly decent pace, but I guess in the periods that I'm stopping, that they're continuing to go. So look, I think what we're seeing here is that's a bigger print here than Rufus. I don't know what that is. That's a pretty weird print. Shoe. One of those might be Rufus, but I don't know. Those don't look as fresh as I thought they were. So there they are, sliding again. So we might be catching somebody here, or at least somebody else is out here on this trail. There's another switchback. Rufus down there on that side of the trail. This is pretty neat. We're getting down to the foot of this mountain. There's where we just came from. Came from over there, started coming this way, and now we're coming in to this wooded section into a field. So this is somebody's property, I guess, and there's some more footprints. This is pretty slick and muddy here, really. Like all the water's running down. So, be a little careful, especially this rain. But this is beautiful right here. That is pretty neat. That's where we're going. Down that trail. I don't remember. Alright, so this is probably the one of my favorite parts of the trail so far. I don't know if you can see, but back there is where we came from. We've been hiking in this field. It's zigzag. We're following along this creek here. Rufus is going across the thing already. He's gonna go get in the water probably. Get up here! I don't know. I think we just watched this movie called A Walk in the Woods, and this reminds me of a scene from that movie where they had a really cool quadcopter shot following those two guys, Robert Redford and Nick Nolte. That movie kind of made me want to come out here and do this. Like, I really wouldn't mind just dropping everything sometimes and then just see how far you can hike. Now this is pretty wet right here. See if we can get into some drier land, because I took my hiking boots off. They were getting hot and I don't have long enough socks on. This isn't really helping too much. This is dried off. We're just going through there. It's a big old house. That's somebody's house. Let's check that out. This is where we came from. We're at this creek, this little bridge. Where we came from. There's our field. Nice little stream right here, and we're just gonna walk right along the stream. Of course, Rufus is gonna walk in it, because that's what he does. Probably like 30 degrees. It's not 30 degrees, but it's running water, so it could be close to some barbed wire. This must be the end of somebody's property here. Now we're hiking right along the foot. This dude, this big old mountain here. This stream. Pretty neat little sight. Most of the time, being in Roanoke, when we hike the Appalachian Trail, we're stuck on a mountain. You got 3 hikes. You got Dragon's Tooth, Mcaphees, and Tinker Woods. And those are the real popular ones because they give you some really great views. But nobody hikes in between them. And if you want to have a nice, quiet, relaxing, but neat hike, you just hike in between them. It makes for a really nice time because it's rare that you can see people there. Somebody's got a line set up right there. Like that. It must be a pasture. Definitely got a lot colder here too. Wind's blowing right out. Because the sun's on that side of the mountains. It's kind of hard to cloud in here since they're that creek must run into that, because that creek was running this way, and this is going that way. So that's weird. Because I feel like we're hiking south now, and this would be flowing north. Anyways, nice hike so far. It's been good. We're not quite at Newport Road, but I think we're going to be getting close. Taking the camera out. But there's another bridge. We're going to cross over, and I think we're hiking up through that field now. This is probably, I don't know, I kind of like the way this is going. The water must be up or something, or eroding at this trail because we're running out of foot room here. I'll probably slide off and I'll fall in there and have a wet foot, and then I'll be miserable. I did bring an extra pair of socks though, and I got another pair of shoes, so I'll just wear a blister in me. Fine. And look at this. So we just did pretty much at Mcaphees Knob, 4.2 miles back to 311. 1.7 to 624, and a nice solid bridge. It's hanging out right here for a bit. We're going up that way, where we came from, and that means once we hit 624, that'll be 5.9, about 6 miles in, and 3 to go to the Dragon's Tooth parking lot, I think. And this is pretty flooded area right here. So I'm gonna get wet. I'm gonna put this away. So that was definitely the wettest part of the trail right here. But now we're out here in this field, and it looks just fantastic. You can see some of those tracks coming back up. I can hear a road and see some power lines and houses. So this might be a road we're gonna have to cross. I have to put the dog back on a leash so we don't run out and get hit by a car or something. So it's getting a little wet again here, but I don't know, I'm liking it. This is nice. I can see a road here, so we must be about to cross something. So let's get the dog on a leash. We are crossing 624. They got these nice little guts so you can get back on, and these are, so I guess cattle can't get out and people can come in. Electric fence. You gotta watch out for those. Rufus don't care, but I'm pretty sure he probably got zapped. And now I don't see nothing but a trail this way, and I don't see any white blaze. So I guess this is where we're going. Okay, there's one on the telephone wire. So we're following that telephone pole right there. Still got a double, and there's one up there that's got a single. This is pretty wet too, so I'm gonna let the dog run around in this field and keep going. All right, pro tip: if you're coming across that bridge and it just rained, you should put some boots on. If you have your boots. If you don't have your boots, you're just gonna have to man up, because pretty much everything back here is sopping wet. It's about a foot of water up in there. About sucked my shoe off stepping through some mud. So I'm not too wet now. They're not too bad. My pants got most of it right, but I did get a bunch in my sock there. But not too bad. A bunch of cow pies. Cows pooping everywhere. If you got a dog, make sure you don't get trapped in a fence that he can't get out of. If he's a dumb dog like my dog. Look at that, there's cows. We're going over there. Where the cows are. I think, I don't know. There's some houses. And this is a pretty worn down trail. So people gotta be walking through here all the time, I guess. This is nice, so it's a cool change of pace. Give it a shot. There's where we came from. We hiked down that mountain there, and we hiked along the ridge. I'm wondering if somebody could see me. All the way back that way. We were hiking all along that ridge. And now we're going in here, and it kind of reminds me of, kind of got like Ireland type of look. We're going into this field, a bunch of little rocks, some rocks coming out here. So, this is a neat little area, and you can see where you came from. Way back over there. It's lunchtime. We just cut through that guy's field, and it's a neat little waterfall right here. It's probably about 10 foot tall, going down through his property over there. And I was thinking a little bit more about where we're going and where we're going to. Something was right there. That looks like it could have been a mill or something. I don't know. I don't know if it was a mill or not, but that was something right there that somebody built down there. The road we just crossed, 624, I don't know if I said it earlier or not. That's not Newport Road. There's going to be another road that cuts off across there, which is 624, whatever it is. Because Newport is only like, I don't know, it's not even a mile away, I don't think, from the parking lot from 311. So now we're going right back into some valley along this creek, which is going that way. Yeah, so we're not, don't listen to me if I said that. Newport's on down here a ways. That's probably the second road that we'll cross, unless there's another one. But there's an, I think Roanoke Boulevard or Roanoke Street that runs from Catawba from 311 down into Blacksburg. That could be what we crossed, but I don't know. I'll have to check a map when I get back. There's Rufus way on up there, just like normal. It's about 22 or 10 till 12, so probably grab a sandwich. I think I'll just eat and walk at the same time. So this is super nice right here. Just following this. Alright, well, there's another little mini waterfall. Into some thicker trees now. We haven't really gone up. We're going up a little bit right now. So I can give you an angle of where we're going. Hiking up in this valley, just following the river. Had part of my lunch. Rufus didn't want any. He did get some water though. Daggone got in the creek. Just hanging out. Creek water. There's another bridge coming up right here. I don't know if you can see that. So, Rufus found it. It's quiet. Still haven't seen anybody. Haven't seen anybody coming the other direction yet. It's real rooty right here and wet. Gotta be careful. Rufus done crossed the bridge. I don't know. Nice. Well, that is not the way we're going. We're going this way. Hopefully that thing refocuses. I had to backtrack just a bit because I dropped my hat. There we go. I dropped my hat back there. So I didn't realize it, and I felt my back pocket and it wasn't there, so we had to run backwards a little ways to catch it, to pick it up. Luckily it wasn't too far back, but since we crossed that bridge though, I will say that it's definitely been a little bit more uphill. I'm sweating pretty good. I had to unbutton the shirt and I haven't rolled the sleeves up yet, but I'm about to. It's a little more rocky and rooty. It's about a, I don't know, 20-30 degree incline-ish. And that trail marker there was just a marker from the national parks or something like that. I think there's one on top of Mcaphees and there's one on top of Tinker Cliff somewhere. It's the first time I've seen one in the middle of the trail though. So we'll keep moving. It was apparently 1.7 miles from the bridge before we crossed 624 till we hit 624, and that went pretty quick. That's a pretty quick 2 miles, or a mile and a 7.7. So we're probably, I checked my my GPS on my phone, on the other phone I got here, and it said we were 5 miles in, way back a little ways. So I think right now I'm probably at 6 miles in, just a little past 12 I think, and I think we probably got about an hour left if we keep the pace up. So I'm thinking we'll be done by like 1 or 2-ish. So we'll keep moving. Hiking along, I just thought I'd point this out. This tree must have fallen and it split that thing right down the middle. Right on down. And it looks like it's got some other things that are growing out of it, or new tree. Old sap tree, I shouldn't have touched that. Hands covered in sap now. Well, we're still going along. We went over this mountain, we kind of cut between it and the other one over here. And we're going down another switchback here. There's a house, somebody's house is right over there. So we're not really far from civilization. And I can hear what I think is 311 again. So I don't know what direction we're gonna go from here. If I'm quiet here, you can probably hear it. Yeah, so we're not sure where we'll go from here. We're gonna end up crossing another road, I feel like. But I think we're almost done, honestly. Alright, so we just crossed over the road right there. I don't know if you guys can see it down through there. That was a pretty busy road. You can hear it from a ways up. And there's a little clearing that goes out there. I did pass the two people in front of me, so I talked to them for a little bit. They're going south with me. And there's a older fella and I think his son doing maybe a day hike or something like that. But they were loaded up pretty good. They had big old backpacks on. And they were wearing orange, which is probably a smart idea. I didn't wear orange. So they could be through hiking, but I don't know. Maybe doing a couple dayer on this Christmas break. It would have been a miserable few days though, because it's been raining so much. But they said, you go straight up this mountain. And once you do that, it's about 1.5 miles to the parking lot. So I'm guessing we only got about 2 miles, 2.5 miles. This is getting pretty steep though. We're only going up there. So, I don't know. Well, that's not too bad really, because I lied earlier. I think it's only 15 after 12 right now. I thought it was later than that. So, we might be finished up by 1:30. So that's pretty quick hike. I don't think we start till 9:30. We'll see what my GPS says at the end. I don't trust it all the way, but it's okay. I come off trails up there a little ways. I saw this sign and I saw this thing. It says 1-1133 1974. Kind of looks like the trailhead that we saw, the trailhead marker that we saw way back there for the AT. I don't know what that one's for though. And this side, coming up this mountain, Dragon's Tooth, that's steep. It reminds me of going up Mcaphees Knob from the backside, from Tinker Cliff. That was a pretty steep section, but you got to the top of that mountain in about 20 minutes if you didn't stop. And that was about 3 switchbacks up. And I think we're pretty flat from here. And if that guy was right, it's about 1.5 miles to the finish over here, parking lot. And then, I don't know, I thought about doing Dragon's Tooth while I'm over here, but we'll see how I feel, how dog feels. I don't have any more food, so I only brought 2 PB&Js and I had them for lunch. Got tons of water, but that's another 3 hours, 3.5 hours I think for that hike. Another 5 miles. I think it's 2.5 up, 2.5 back. So we'll see how it goes. This seems like it's a pretty flat walk though, until we get over there. Here we are, Dragon's Tooth parking lot area, 1/2 mile to the Boy Scout Trail. Dragon's Tooth is 2 miles from here. Appalachian Trail south is that way. Junction of Dragon's Tooth Trail. So, 2 miles, if we're already on the ridge, I don't know, I might just go ahead and do it. Junction, Dragon's Tooth, says 0.3 to the Dragon's Tooth Junction Trail. And the Boy Scout Trail parking area is 1/2 mile. We'll just keep moving. We'll just keep doing it. 2 miles, no big deal. We're hanging out on this part of the mountain. I've been wanting to do this for a while anyway, so I'd rather hike on through instead of going down to the lot and then coming right back up. So we'll keep moving. It's a lot thicker though. More green. It's actually still pretty green. It's a nice trail though. So we're moving in on we stayed on the AT. Stayed on the AT trail. We didn't go down the parking lot. We've actually stayed pretty high. It's a lot more green. The whole surroundings right here is a whole lot different than the trail that we have been on. Here's a campsite that we're just coming across, it looks like. Looks like a trail over this way. It goes that way. I wonder what this is for. Maybe it goes down there for the bathroom or something. Water. I don't know. It just got warmer though. The wind was blowing. It was cold, but it's just got real warm right here. Rufus is moving like he's getting tired. He's still running, but he ain't like taking off. He'll go up until he can't see me anymore, and then he'll just stop and wait for me. And then if he doesn't see me again, he'll come on back and he'll trot all the way back to me. So like right now, he'll go up, he's around that corner. He can't see me now. He'll keep walking till he either can't hear me or something. And then he'll come right back around. I don't know, it's not every time, but we'll see if he does. There he is. He's coming back now. There he is. He's silly wait for me. Good boy, buddy. You're waiting on me. Come here. Come here. Look, there you are. You having fun? You're sweating. I smell you. You smell like wet dog. That's where we're at. Pretty neat. This is a lot rockier and kind of reminds me of a book that I read, but I don't know what book it was. So if I think of it, I'll bring it up later. So we're up here. We're on the top. Almost. This is going up. We've just come up this way. It's pretty rocky here to Dragon's Tooth, which should be over here. Ran into two other folk, but they were going down, and they're actually going down the AT. And it's not a way I've ever gone on Dragon's Tooth. Normally on Dragon's Tooth, I just stay on the Dragon's Tooth trail all the way up, and it's like a zigzag, bunch of switchbacks. Here's some more people coming, but they took the Boy Scout trail, cut over to the AT and came up. It's a lot straighter and a lot shorter, a little bit steeper. But I just thought that was pretty neat, and we're almost up here at the top. So we'll be up there in Dragon's Tooth in no time. We just went 1.5 miles from 624. Didn't seem like that. And we're coming up now. Lost Spectacles Gap is that way. Dragon's Tooth Trail in the parking area is that way. And Dragon's Tooth is this way. So we'll keep going. It says we got 0.7 to get to Dragon's Tooth, so we'll just keep going this way. We ran into a couple other groups. There's a family right behind us that we passed. Pickle Branch Shelter's 5 miles. Dragon's Tooth 620 is 6.4 miles. Lost Spectacles Gap was some way. This might be Lost Spectacles Gap. I didn't see the name. We'll have to look at the sign when we come back. Alrighty. Made it up here. We're at Dragon's Tooth. Top of the mountain. Rufus is pretty tired. We're gonna go over here and post up against one of these rocks. I think it's 120. So we did 11 miles about from 9:30 to we'll say 1:30. 5 miles. 5 hours, I mean. 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30. 4 hours. So that's not too bad. Come here, bud. Ran into a couple of other people, a couple of other folks. Everybody seems to be taking. That's slippery. Taking the actual AT to come up here. And so I had come up here and I'd hiked the AT from the top of Dragon's Tooth, but that is continuing south. That is not north, which is where we have to go now. From here, we've been coming south the whole time. And then me and Donnie and some other people we were hiking, we decided to hike that AT section back. It's south though. And we kept hiking on it for a long ways, and we weren't getting anywhere. We weren't recognizing anything. So we just shot straight down the mountain that one time. Come here, buddy. Let's put your leash back on. And come here. Come here. And then we cut straight down the mountain and got up back on the Dragon's Tooth Trail. But anyways, all right. So we're on the descent now. I took some pictures at the top, but I don't think I took any video. I might have. I got Rufus up on some of those rocks, and I was focused on him not doing something Rufus-like and jumping or climbing around. So I picked the worst time to start filming. This is a bunch of rocks and wet rocks. But, you know, it's been good so far. Rufus has made a whole bunch of friends. He's seen about four or five different families, maybe. He saw a couple kids. There was a couple really young kids up here hiking, and a dad carrying a little baby. Bet you that's probably a grueling bit. But it says once you get to Lost Spectacles Gap, which is a camping site, which is where the AT junction is for the Dragon's Tooth Trail / part of the Boy Scout Trail or something. It's the Dragon's Tooth Trail junction, and that's Lost Spectacles Gap. And it said you only had 7/10 of a mile till you got to the top of Dragon's Tooth. But daggone it, that was a long 7/10 of a mile compared to the rest of the trip. Seemed like that took the most time, coming all the way over from Mcaphees. But there's Rufus doing Rufus things. Gave him some water at the top, and he's like a freaking rocket ship again. So, anyways, good hike. I think it's probably close to 2 o'clock now. So, by the time we get back, we'll have done 14 miles. Or something like around about that. And I'm thinking it will get back down hopefully in the next hour. And be 3 o'clock-ish. Let's say 3:30. That's 9:30 to 3:30. That's 6 hours. 14 miles in 6 hours. That's about what I did the last time or so. But it's been good. The weather's still nice. Sun's still coming out. It's out a little bit more than it was earlier today. Not so much cloudy anymore. It's still a little partly cloudy. A little overcast, but it's nice. But there it is. The Mcaphees Knob 311 parking lot to Dragon's Tooth Trail. Parking lot to parking lot, I think it's 9 miles. Parking lot to Dragon's Tooth is 11.5, I think. And then, back, you get 12 plus the 2, 14 back to the parking lot. So, it's a good trail hike. I found a post online that had 113 hikes in Virginia that you should do. A lot of them were on the AT, sections of the AT, 8 to 9 to 12 mile trail sections. And it said this one was a strenuous trail. And parts of it were, I think. And a lot of it's nice, smooth walking, but there's a good couple of sections there where you're going uphill for a while. And then once you hit Dragon's Tooth, if you stay on the AT, that's a pretty rough climb in parts. It smooths out for every once in a while, but it's definitely a lot more of a climb than the rest of the trail that I was on. It was a big change in grade. If I were to rate it, it would be a good rating. Actually, it's fantastic rating now that I think about it. It'd be like I don't know if I can give a 10 out of 10, but it's definitely a 9 out of 10. You know, I've done Dragon's Tooth a lot, but I was more excited about the trail between the two parking lots. So that was a lot of fun. You get to see all sorts of terrain and fields. You go down, you go up, rocks, dog friendly. It's good.